Hi everybody, thanks for stopping by. This is Pat of Pat's Home Craft. Welcome to my All About Winter series. Decorating and getting your home winter ready can be a snap with my DIYs and helpful ideas. Now let's get to it. I fell in love with these terrariums, and I really wanted one for my home, but at the price tag of $109 for the pair, I think I could create something on my own that is much cheaper. I'm taking these 6 Dollar Tree frames and I'm going to create my terrarium. After removing all of the packaging, I'm going to take my Gorilla Glue and some hot glue, and I'm going to place 2 frames together that will create one side of my terrarium, and then I will do the same procedure for the other 2 frames. After placing them together, I'm going to take some Waverly white chalk paint and I'm going to place 2 coats to the backs of the frames. These 4 frames will create the base of my terrarium. This video is in part of the challenge Look for Less, hosted by Yami, the Latina next door, and Lisa Birmingham of Lisa Birmingham. We were asked to find something that we would love to have in our home and then use materials to create the same look for a lot less. Yami's channel is filled with so many wonderfully creative ideas to help you around your house and home. She has so many beautiful ideas, and she does it all with a snap and with her sweet style. Always making sure to stay on a great budget, Yami will teach you how you can do the same. Lisa is our co-host. She has a channel that is absolutely wonderful and filled with stunning DIYs. Her style is elegant, chic, with a very high-end style that is very budget-friendly. If you haven't already, please check out both ladies' channels. Also, be sure to check out all the wonderful DIY videos down in the description box, along with the challenge hosts' channel links. I'm taking these craft sticks to use for structure for my terrarium. I'm going to trim off the edges, and then I'm going to find the measurement that I will need for the width of my terrarium, and then I will measure and cut all of my craft sticks. Then I'm going to place 2 coats of my white chalk paint on each side of my craft sticks. I'm using silicone to hide the noticeable gap between the frames. I'm also taking my white chalk paint for the 2 longer picture frames. The insets that were used in the frames will also be painted white. And now I'm going over the seam that I created with the silicone with some white chalk paint so it's not so glossy. Now I'm taking my fawn chalk paint and I'm going to lightly do some brush strokes onto all the pieces, front and back. It's a dry brushing effect with not very much paint on the paintbrush. This will give some distressing and an aged look. Now I'm using my Gorilla Glue and some hot glue to attach all the craft sticks. I'm going to begin by creating the bottom of the frame. I'm going to place 3 craft sticks as a base. I won't be able to hold very heavy objects inside of the terrarium, but because I'm planning on placing it on a table or on a surface, I'm not worried about putting too much stress on the bottom. I will be very careful. This is a decorative piece, and so it will not have to function as something that will hold heavy objects to be carried. And now I am attaching the other side or wall of my terrarium, and I'm attaching this side also to all the base pieces. And now I'm attaching that final piece. Now I'm taking the final 2 craft sticks that I will use for the top portion. This terrarium is beginning to look like a fish tank, but it really is a terrarium. I'm going to give these pieces a coat also of the distressed look with my fawn chalk paint. And after I've gone over all the pieces with the chalk paint, I'm going to just add in all my glass panes. Now I'm left with the decision as to how to attach the top portion, which should create a roof section to my terrarium. And I've come up with this idea. I'm taking a grosgrain ribbon and I'm attaching it to both sides with hot glue. Because the ribbon is pliable, this will act as a type of hinge. I will then use some more of that ribbon, attach it to the opposing sides of each side of that roof. And after I've inserted both my glass pieces, I'm going to now attach the ribbon and the frame piece to both sides. First, I will apply some glue. And then I will press the ribbon onto that glue. And now I will lay this down, and then inside that section I will place some more glue, and then I will bring it up to let it adhere, because it's only touching at an angle, so I needed a little bit more stability than a small amount of glue at an angled piece. With the ribbon, I've created more of an area that is glued down. And now I'm placing a section of foam core board that I measured and cut to the bottom of my terrarium. I just simply hot glue it in place. I would like to have a beautiful Christmas arrangement inside of my terrarium. First, I will take some styrofoam and I'm going to cover it with a piece of burlap ribbon. I'm simply going to pin it. Now I'm going to place some reindeer moss down on top of my styrofoam, and I'm going to take these holly bushes that I purchased at Walmart, and I'm going to remove all the holly. And I'm sure you're wondering why I would do that, but I wanted the greenery look, and I also wanted the white tipped greenery, but I'm going to add a different berry. I'm going to use a darker berry from these picks that I also purchased at Walmart. But I love the fact that there's a small amount of snow sprayed onto the sprigs. There's also pine cones, and I also like the fir branches that were used in the picks. So that will give a little bit extra element. And here I've placed too many of these leaves, so I'm going to remove some of them, and I'm going to rearrange some others that lay in a flatter position, so I can show off the pine cone and the berries a little bit better. It was just a little bit too much. What I love about floral arrangements is that you can work with them until you can achieve the look that you want. Now this is the third piece that I'm going to place, but this piece was too short, so I'm going to show you how to make it longer. I'm taking a floral sprig that was used, and I'm going to take some floral tape and just wind them together. And now that it's longer, I can place that into my styrofoam and fix and arrange the greenery. Now I'm going to slide this beautiful Christmas arrangement into my terrarium. And here is my terrarium, which is complete, and it only costs $14 compared to $109 for a set of 2. I wanted a very elegant and simple farm Christmas tree sign, and I found this one, which is 12 inches by 12 inches, but it was for $19.99 on Amazon, and I knew that I could recreate something similar for a lot cheaper. I'm taking this Dollar Tree frame and I'm covering it in the color fawn. I'm coming back with my antique wax and I'm just dabbing it on, and then I'm wiping it off. I don't want to completely cover the frame. I just want to give it a wood look or a wood appearance. After cutting some drawing paper, I place it in along with the backing, and I'm taking some of the stickers that I found in the Christmas section at Dollar General. I simply peel and stick, and there you have it. My sign cost $2 compared to the $19.99 from Amazon. This was super fast, easy, and fun to make. I absolutely adored this Kirkland's white wooden beaded Christmas tree, but at $16.99, I think I can find some materials to make it much cheaper. I'm taking my sketch pad and a cardboard, and I'm tracing out half of a Christmas tree in the same shape as the original. I'm folding it in half, and then I'm going to cut out the shape. Once I've completely cut it out, I'm taking my foam core board and I'm going to trace it out and cut it out also. I'm also going to cut out a base from that foam core board and a stand, which will act as the trunk of the tree. I'm taking 3 packages of these pearls from Dollar General, and I'm going to just stick them on all the way around the Christmas tree. Now I'm taking my Waverly white chalk paint and giving 2 coats to the entire surface of the tree. I'm making sure to get down into all the little cracks of the beads. I'm also going to place 2 coats of white chalk paint on the stand and on the base. Now I'm going to take a mixture of fawn and white chalk paint, and I'm just going to lightly brush all the beading with this mixture. This will give the appearance that I sanded the beads and that it was a natural wood grain that was underneath. I'm also creating a streaky effect on the tree itself and on the base and on the stand. Now I'm going to simply hot glue my stand to the tree. And in order to ensure that the stand will stay onto the actual base, I've taken a craft stick and broken it into several pieces, and I'm just gluing them all together. Just stacking them and gluing them. And now I've glued that little stack of craft sticks to the base, and now I'm going to glue the stand to the craft sticks. And there you have it. Mine cost $3 because the foam core board was something that I'd already used, and it was a scrap piece laying around. The cost was really in the beading, which was $1 a package. And that's a much better price compared to the Kirkland's $16.99. I've absolutely loved this Pottery Barn pre-lit birch tree, but at $99 for a 24-inch tree, I definitely need to recreate this. The most important part of this DIY is getting that birch look just right. So I'm taking one of these paper bags and I'm going to cut it so it will completely lay open and flat. And I'm going to take some white chalk paint and I'm going to just liberally paint over the paper bag. I am leaving a lot of streaky areas and I'm not going to completely cover it because I do like the color of the paper bag itself. I'm going to create the leaves from this paper bag. I like the paper bag idea because it's pliant. I can easily curl it because I plan on curling the leaves. And it is also inexpensive. It didn't cost me a thing. And that brings me to another issue. It doesn't cost a thing to subscribe. So I would definitely appreciate your subscription if you like what I'm doing. Just click on that subscribe button, and when the prompt comes up after you click on the notification bell, you will select the word all, and that will ensure that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I would definitely appreciate your subscription to my channel. And here I'm taking the color fawn, and I am also creating some streaky effect over the white chalk paint. And I feel like I have some pieces that were a little too much fawn, so I'm going back over them with my white chalk paint. And now I am taking a brush and I am dipping it into the color elephant, and I'm just dabbing on all over, giving a very spotted effect. The leaves of the original tree look like birch bark, so I'm trying to recreate a birch bark effect. And now I'm coming through with the same brush but using chalk paint in white, and I'm giving some more spotted effect. Once everything has dried, I'm flipping this paper bag over, and I'm going to just draw some leaf shapes all over the back. As you see, once I've cut them out, they all have their own individual patterns of the birch bark. In order to create the stand for the leaves to be adhered to, I'm going to take some used old poster board that has paint all over it. I'm going to just curl it up into a cone shape and glue it, cutting off the base of it to make it flat. I'm taking my fawn chalk paint and placing one thick coat to the cone. And now, using all of these beautiful birch look leaves, I'm going to adhere each and every one of them to my cone with hot glue. It's a very simple procedure. I'm simply taking a painting brush and I'm curling the tips of each of my leaves, and then I'm adhering the flat portion to the cone itself all the way around. And then I'm taking the next section and I'm going to just adhere those all the way around also. And I keep adding and adding all the way to the very top. I do make sure to place the larger leaves that I drew at the bottom and the smaller ones closer to the top. Now I'm taking some jute twine. I wound it all the way up to the top in about a 1.5 inch strip, and I've also used hot glue to secure it along the way. At the very top portion, I've tucked in the very end straight down into the top of it. And here is my birch bark tree, which is very similar to the original, but only cost me $0. This was actually $0. Everything was a scrap piece of something that I'd already used and was really ready for the trash. For my final project, I found this beautiful set of birch candles. The largest candle of the bunch is $36.76. I couldn't believe the price of this candle. So I've taken a candle that I had at home that was older, it was discolored. I'd already used it, but because it was already discolored, I was just about ready to throw it out the door. First, I hollowed out a section on the inside of it. At the top, I am going to turn it into a flameless candle. Also, for the top portion, because this candle was a light blue color, I took my white chalk paint and gave 2 coats to the very top and the inside portion of this candle. Now this is a section of paper bag with the birch painting that I created. After measuring it, I've cut it out, and using my hot glue, I'm just wrapping it around and securing it very snugly to the candle. This is a super easy, quick way of creating a new candle from your old one. And after popping in my luminary from Dollar Tree, I am showing you that mine simply cost $1 because the only thing that I had to pay for was that one luminary that I used inside of the candle versus that Etsy $36.76 candle. My home is getting ready for a winter wonderland extravaganza. For more of my All About Winter series, please check out my All About Winter playlist link down in the description box. And stay tuned for more upcoming All About Winter videos. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed these DIYs and which one was your favorite. I have to say that my favorite was the birch Christmas tree. Although I will be able to use my terrarium year-round. Thanks so much for stopping by. I truly appreciate your time. Always remember to look around you for the beauty in your life. It's waiting right there for you to see it. Until the next video, have a great day.